Another one of these already? Yeah, time for the 76030 Avengers Hydra Showdown. Not a set I was particularly interested in getting, but it's cheap, and it has Hawkeye in it. And I actually kind of like Hawkeye, so I had to get the set. Yeah, Hawkeye is exclusive to this set. I kind of feel like being a little cynical here, but I'm going to try not to be. Let's look at it. It comes with a Hydra henchman, Hawkeye, and Thor, and two vehicles for our characters, a Hydra all-terrain dune buggy thing, and an Avengers armored jeep. Let's turn it around. What does it have? It has the super jumper, it has stud blasters, and it really doesn't have much else, to be honest. Or at least not much on the front, and, oh, it comes with the comic. Joy. And once again, I have forgotten to bring my knife close by. Just a moment. Jump cut. Found the knife. And already emptied the box out. Let's see. It comes with a, the comic adventure that the box advertised. It's the same one as in the Hulkbuster, and we turn to page 1, and, well, there's our set that we're looking at right now, right there on the front page. Alright, let's put that off to one side. It's not very important for our discussion here. We have an instruction booklet, and then we have bag 1 and bag 2. Quite a lot of parts, actually. Wow, seriously, that's quite a lot of parts, a lot more than I expected, and, oh dear, the stickers. Seems to have a license plate number, an Avengers logo, and a Hydra logo. Very cool. Well, I'll be back in a little bit to talk about this. And we're back. Yes, oh dear. I think I might have set myself up for this after reviewing the Hulkbuster, and it was such an excellent set. But, let's not jump too far ahead, I suppose. Let's talk about the minifigures. Let's start with, the Thor, the mighty Thor, God of Thunder here. Excellent job on the printing here. Lots of details on the chest plate, including some lovely Celtic knots on the circles that I love. No printing on the legs. Very disappointing. Kind of makes me a little bit sad, actually. The Hulk from the original LEGO Avengers line didn't have leg printing either, and it's kind of a shame because so many of the other minifigures have leg printing and Thor doesn't for some reason. It makes me sad. Nice printing on the back, but you don't see it very often, and slightly different printing on the head than what he had before. Thor is equipped with the new soft cape. This, I think, is my first exposure to it, and wow. It's really nice, actually. It's like it's a lot thicker than the original capes that have been in use for so long, but it's actually really nice. It isn't too thick, and it flows nicely. It can be twisted around much more easily. It's much softer. You can kind of you can't, like, pose it better, say, but it does look a lot better, I think, actually, and probably great for putting in vehicles and stuff like that. And once again, as is my usual style, let's compare him to his last version, and thanks to my hands, the lighting is crap. Yes, again, much nicer and much more detailed printing. Slightly... no, it's the same shade of blue. I thought it was a slightly darker shade of blue. But I will say, Thor's arms now have a metallic gray color to them. There's a bit of a glint to them, and it looks very nice. Nicely detailed. As of course, as usual, we have a two-sided face, a slightly smug Thor, and a slightly angry Thor. Presumably that is a Thor who is ready to bring the hammer down. And of course, it has the usual Lego Mjolnir, which I just sent flying, funnily enough. Yeah, nice job on the Thor. My only complaint is, of course, the lack of the leg printing, which is not a game breaker, but it is a little disappointing. I'm going to put him back there, and let's talk about... I'm going to scoot the Hydra buggy back there a bit. Actually, you know what? I'm going to discuss the Hydra buggy now, because this is one of my biggest bugbears. The Hydra buggy, it's a cute little thing. Very lightweight, kind of an off-road vehicle sort of dealy bopper. It's a one-man only. Has the Hydra look. Yes. So, I'm gonna pull the Hydra guy out of his little cockpit. Yeah, that's actually a nice little detail, the little closing thing. So the Hydra buggy comes equipped with a blaster that I presume is supposed to basically be a reverse-engineered Chitauri blaster powered by the Scepter from Avengers, and then hinted at, or rather revealed in Captain America the Winter Soldier that it is in the hands of Hydra. So they've got, like, so Hydra has, like, blaster weapons and stuff like that, which is, you know, cool and all. And the, as is usual for these sets, there is a feature that is able to be knocked off or knocked over, something like that. And in this case, it's the blaster. And that's kind of the problem, is that there's nothing actually holding it in. It is simply just slid right in there, and it just sits there, and, like, the slightest movement, and it falls off. It, like, I mean, are we trying to say something about Hydra's construction techniques here? I don't think we really are. Yeah, that's kind of the most annoying thing about this set, is that as cool as this, like, weird little gun thingy is, it doesn't stay on at all. I think that if I'm going to keep this, if I was going to, like, keep this in one piece, I think I'll end up replacing this with another bracket so that it can actually stay in place. It's an odd little vehicle. I mean, it's not like a bad vehicle or anything. It's just a little bit odd to imagine, you know, a bunch of fanatic fascists riding around in dune buggies. I mean, man, now I'm imagining Hydra at Burning Man. That's kind of simultaneously hilarious and a little bit weird. No more weird than the rest of Burning Man, I suppose. I'm gonna put that over there. God, I'm just gonna leave that off. Seriously, that's really annoying. It comes with a Hydragoon. The Hydragoon does not have much printing. He has chest and back printing, and of course he has face printing, and nothing else. There's no printing on his arms, there is no printing on his legs, which is kind of disappointing because his chest plate and his printing looks great. He kind of has this Chitauri-esque armor being worn as a harness with actually a fantastic, if it will focus, a fantastic little Hydra logo printed on the back. And if you look very closely, you can see he actually has modern-day digital camo printed on underneath his body armor. And that's part of what makes the lack of printing on his legs so disappointing, is I think there's a missed chance there for some more winter camo printing on the lower legs. Besides that, you know, just kind of a generic Hydragoon. He has a face mask, and oddly enough, he has printing on the back of his head, and I can't figure out what it's supposed to be. Like, it kinda looks like a mask, but it kinda doesn't. Like, is it a Lobot-esque cyborg piece to allow him to control his technology? I mean, like, his hair hides it. You can't see. I'm very confused by the headpiece. And actually, let me grab. I prepared in advance to show off that you can kind of see that, you know, it's not like perfect Chitauri technology, but it looks very similar and has a very similar gold and purple coloration. So I really imagine that it's based off of reverse engineered Chitauri technology. I mean, either that or he has joined the Power Rangers Mystic Force as the Hydra Mystic Ranger, I suppose, with that little M pattern there. Decent figure, not too terrible, not too great either. And then we have this little vehicle for Hawkeye, the Avengers Jeep. It looks like it can seat 2 people inside. It really can't. It can really only seat 1 person. And likewise, it looks like you can kind of store stuff in the back, and you really can't. I mean, I guess you can. It has a little turning turret on the top with some flick fire missiles, which are getting kind of weird now. It's like there's so many of these little stud shooters and everything that to see just like a little flick fire missile is kind of disappointing now. It's a solid enough build, but it's kind of boring, especially compared to, the Jeep from the original Avengers line. That one looked a lot better, to be honest. This is just kind of a very basic vehicle. It doesn't really have any features to it besides, the turret. And inside, we, of course, have Hawkeye, who, I have managed to get stuck. Come on, get out of there. There we go. A lot of people kind of find Hawkeye a little bit bland. I like Hawkeye, even though he didn't do much in the first movie. And I like Jeremy Renner fine, and I'm actually really excited that Hawkeye is getting to do more. Which is kind of a shame, because his figure is just a little bit boring. I mean, again, the printing is fine, the design is fine. He's wearing his new awesome overcoat that we've been seeing in all of the trailers. Come on, focus, show it off. What do I need to do? Come on, focus, show it off. Why are you not working now? You were working fine before. You can see my ugly nails. He's wearing his, sort of half trench coat thing, which has its nice burgundy printing. Very simple printing on the back. There isn't even a quiver, which is a shame, because, like, the original Hawkeye figure, hello, had a quiver printed on the back, and it had the quiver printed on the back because Hawkeye kept having to sit in different vehicles and stuff like that, so they couldn't give him an actual physical quiver, which is kind of a shame. It would make his minifigure a bit more interesting. And since I've pulled Hawkeye out, we can discuss, he's actually the first of the new figures from the original Avengers line that, compared to his original version, he looks kind of bland. Which is, again, a shame, as I like Hawkeye. Like, there's just more stuff going on the original Hawkeye compared to the new one, though his hair is a much closer match for Jeremy Renner's with the nice spiky bits, and as usual, two expressions, one side very serious with his goggles, the other side just very serious. Hawkeye doesn't seem to smile much. Does he even smile on his old one? Nope, he doesn't. As much as I like Hawkeye, this is it's just kind of a boring figure. This is kind of a shame, really, I guess. So I'll put these guys over here, and talk about the set as a whole. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in this set, and I wasn't really expecting much from it. Like, the only real good minifigure here is Thor, and Thor isn't even exclusive to this set. He shows up in another set, that being the Avengers Tower, which is, as far as I can tell, a much more impressive set than this, although a much more expensive set. We'll come back to the issue of price in a short bit. Hawkeye is unique to this set. I am not counting the SHIELD helicarrier. That thing is $350. If you really desperately want Hawkeye, just buy this set. It's much cheaper than the danged helicarrier. But then again, the helicarrier does have the unique Nick Fury and, darn it, what's her name? I am not remembering her name right now. Arg! I'm going to feel terrible, and I'm going to put an annotation in here with her name, and I'm sure that if anyone does comment on this, they will tell me what her name is. She's played by that girl from How I Met Your Mother. Maria Hill! Maria Hill. There, I remember the name, and now I'm going to have a big empty area of boringness. Anyway, so yeah, minifigures, a little bit boring. The Hydra goon also is not unique to this set. He appears in the Hydra base set, which is, when I get to that one, I will discuss my thoughts on that one. The vehicles are decent, but they're not great. Especially compared to the much more fun Hydra tank from the Captain America vs. Hydra set. This is a lot more fun than this little Hydra dune buggy thing, and it looks a lot cooler, to be honest. So, compared to the last set to have Hydra in it, it's kind of boring. And the Jeep, again, is nothing to write home about. It's just kind of a generic Jeep. This isn't a bad set, but it's not a good set. Like, if I was giving out a star rating, I'd probably call this set like a 2.5 out of 5, maybe a 3. It's just kind of an average set, unfortunately, which is kind of a shame because, you know, this is kind of Hawkeye's set, and Hawkeye, once again, doesn't get very much. I almost kind of wish he could have showed up in something else, like the Avengers Tower. He could have shown up alongside Thor and Iron Man, and then you could skip this set entirely. As it is, if you absolutely need the complete collection of the Avengers, I guess you could pick this set up. It's only $20, so it's not an expensive set by any means, but compared to the other $20 sets I've reviewed, like the Hydra tank and, excuse me, the Sinestro versus Green Lantern set, this one just comes up really short. It's, yeah, I guess just disappointing is the best way to describe this set. Yeah, I don't really have a clever a joke. I don't really think I have a clever joke there. This set is just kind of boring and disappointing, middle of the road. There's nothing really bad about it, and there's nothing really good about it. It's adequate. And I think that's the best summary. If you want this set, I guess get it. I would recommend skipping it for one of the other sets. Like, if you spend an extra $10, you can get the awesome Helicarrier set. Or if you... Helicarrier? If you spend an extra $10, you can get the awesome Hulkbuster set. And if you spend a little bit less, you can get the Iron Man vs. Ultron set, which, as much as it is an army builder, is less boring than this one. Yeah. Sorry, Jeremy Renner. Looks like you got the short end of the stick again. Hopefully, your role in Avengers Age of Ultron will more than make up for it. Anyway, I'm going to say good day and play well. Forsooth! Just a quick little thing to go after everything else. While I was assembling this set, I noticed something kind of weird about one of the parts. Yeah, this little blue piece came this way. I have not done anything to this piece. It is crushed. It is malformed. It is, yeah, I think this is the first time I've ever gotten a Lego set, a proper Lego set, with a piece this fundamentally screwed up. I'm not actually sure how to react to that. Yeah. Anyway, just a random silly little thing to put at the end here.